What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're breaking down the weekly reset for Lightfall and Season of Defiance for Tuesday, March 14th. And so of course this is only the second reset of the season so far, and this week we get more new content for Lightfall, as well as a brand new hotfix bringing a handful of changes to the game. Initially though, for Season of Defiance, the story quest continues. We also get new weekly challenges, and if you're collecting catalysts for Vexcalibur, a new one will drop. Then for Lightfall, we've got the reset for the raid, a new featured mission will come up, and of course, Pinnacle and Powerful drops will reset, plus we'll cover the Nightfall, new rewards, including the Eververse store, and a bunch of other things in the video. So, as always guys, I hope you find the breakdown helpful today, and if you do, be sure to get subscribed to the channel for more content, but otherwise, let's get into it. So before we talk about content for the week, right here, a quick shout for folks in the US, but Bungie said beginning on March 12th, Destiny 2's daily and weekly reset time will update to 10 AM PDT, and so that's an hour later, it was previously 9 AM, so just something to keep in mind. And something else aside from the content this week, but Bungie have indicated that we will get a new hotfix for the game on March 16th, so that's Thursday, and one of the things they'll be fixing is the bug where players can go invisible after playing a bunch of activities where there's a commendation screen. But I'm sure there will be plenty of other fixes and changes in that update this week, so I'll keep you posted. Next though, season content will continue to roll out this week, and initially, we have new steps for the season quest. So, sticking to the pretty typical format, initially we'll visit the war table in the Helm for a briefing with Mara Sov. And then we get a new Defiant battlegrounds, and this is the Orbital Prison, so we'll need to jump into that via the EDZ. And after we've completed the first run of that, we'll have to speak to Amanda and Mithrax at the farm. Then as a fire team, we'll need to generate 20 Awoken Favors during Defiant Battleground playlist activities. Following that, we'll debrief at the Holo Projector, then we'll need to wait another week before we can continue on with the quest. Next though, as always, we've got new weekly challenges for the season. So the first challenge is to complete week 3 of We Stand Unbroken. Those are the quest steps we just mentioned. Then we've got Bane of the Shadow Legion to use abilities to defeat combatants in Defiant Battleground playlists, and defeating combatants with the Strand subclass will grant bonus progress. The next challenge is to defeat combatants with Season of Defiance weapons. That includes Perpetualis, Prodigal Return, Regnant, Caretaker, Raconteur, and Royal Executioner, and bonus progress will be awarded for kills in seasonal activities. Then we have EDZ activities to get progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors in the EDZ, and Commendation Appreciation to earn progress for giving commendations in Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit activities. There is a week 3 challenge for the Iron Banner. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that because Bungie pushed the Iron Banner back to next week. But of course, if it does come out, it will still be available next week. But the final 3 challenges include Primeval Entourage to defeat Taken in Gambit with bonus progress for defeating tougher combatants, another to defeat champions in Nightfall strikes on hero difficulty or higher, and finally mid-range calibration to calibrate hand cannons, auto rifles, glaives, fusion rifles, and machine guns in the EDZ. On top of that, there is a classified challenge for this week, so it'll be interesting to see what that one's about. Also for this upcoming week though, if you're collecting the catalysts for the Vexcalibur exotic, we should be able to pick up the Robber refit, which of course awards Grave Robber for the weapon. And that'll be done by completing the Nord Override Avalon mission on Legend difficulty this week. Next though, that takes us to Neomuna, and initially the weekly mission will refresh, and that awards the Pinnacle for the 100k score. And on top of this, the Vex Incursion Zone should change as well, and we'll move over to Ahimsa Park as far as we know. On top of that, we should get a new Partition mission, and of course, Powerful and Pinnacle reward sources will reset. For playlists this week though, the Crucible will feature Team Scorched, and Trials of Osiris will return on Friday's daily reset for the first time in the season. So let us know if you're planning to jump into Trials down in the comment section. Then for the Vanguard, the featured Nightfall for this week will be the Hypernet Current Strike. So that'll be interesting, being the new Nightfall for the season. However, we can't say for sure what the Nightfall weapon will be, as we haven't seen the full rotation just yet. For the raid and dungeon rotation though, this week we're going to see Deepstone Crypt featured, as well as the Duality Dungeon, and both of these will drop their unique items with updated power relevancy. Additionally, of course, the Root of Nightmares raid will refresh as well. Give us your thoughts on the raid down below if you've played it, guys. But that pretty much takes us to the Eververse store for the week, and so initially we have the Surging Current Exotic Sparrow. This will be featured for 2,500 Bright Dust. And then there is the Vitreous Entrance Transmat Effect, which will be 450 Bright Dust. And we've got 2 featured shaders this week, which are Seven Sisters, but also Oiled Gunmetal, and both of these will be 300 Bright Dust. On top of that, there is the Stress Ball Exotic Emote. That'll be 3,250. And the My 10 Gallon Hat Legendary Emote, which will be 700 Bright Dust. But then moving to some of the exotic items, we've got the Aoki Fast Shell, that's 2850 Bright Dust, the Motive Force Exotic Sparrow, which will be 2500, and the Velocimancer Exotic Ship, which will be 2000 Bright Dust. Then the featured exotic ornament for the week is Full of Mint, and this is the Knight's Elegy, which will be 1250 Bright Dust. But finally we have the Thumbs Down projection for 1500, and the Vehement Flock Exotic Emote, which will be 3250 Bright Dust this week. As I mentioned before, the first couple of weeks of Lightfall have very few new items for the Eververse store, so we are going to have to wait, I believe, until week 4 and 5 until we start getting a bit more newer stuff. Can't say for sure what the Lost Sector rotation will be for the full week just yet, as we haven't seen a full cycle, but for Days of Eternity, I don't believe the additional drops from the world drops have been updated for this season, so as far as I know we'll be on rotation 3 drops, which includes Scannerhorn armor set, Lightkin armor, and then weapons from Season of the Splicer, and a few world drops from Forsaken. But if it's the Ascendant Challenger after, this week it will be the Shattered Ruins, which is accessed via the Spine of Keres in Dreaming City. So if you want to see the location for that, we'll show it at the end of the video. But otherwise guys, for today, that is everything we have to break down for the weekly reset. As always though, I'll be keeping you posted on all the goings on in the game this week, so feel free to keep it locked and loaded right here on the channel, and if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating down below really does help us out. Also let us know if you'll be jumping back into the game this reset, but otherwise, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.